before I finish up today's calls, I want to do a little bit more of this sock puppet crime syndicate meeting. We left off where the puppets were going to approve a modification of $5.6 million to the pork barrel, also known as the Better Red, to hire 4 executives to manage the project. $5.6 million to hire 4 executives for this giant pork barrel.
Comment? Hearing none, I'm going to call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed?
Of course not.
The motion carries.
Why would they be opposed?
For the next resolution, 22-03-15, appointing members to the 2022 to 23 House Bill 2017 Transit Advisory Committee, I'm requesting a motion to postpone this resolution to a future meeting to allow board members more time to consider not only appointing new members but also propose changes to the bylaws.
All right, she doesn't want to do this today. What is it? I'll read it. During the 2017 legislature session, oh yes, this was the tax grab, okay, where you got your taxes raised and you got no say in it. The so-called Keep Oregon Moving Act, you know, they like to they do love their little cute little names. And so many of us serfs fall for this. It just never ceases to blow my mind how easy people's minds are manipulated by government. It just shocks me. I can never believe it. HB 27 required the board to establish and appoint members to a transit advisory committee to advise and assist TRIMET in developing a plan for projects and programs funded by HB 2017. Well, what are you talking about? Because the division project is already funded by this. Part of it, anyway. Members of the advisory committee represent transit users, seniors, persons with disabilities, employers, environmental, educational, minorities, youth, blah, 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 blah. The advisory committee plan for each funding period must be approved by the board. Well, so she doesn't want to do this. Why?
I think I need to have a motion for this, don't I?
So moved.
And that was Director
Edwards.
Thank you. A second?
I second the motion to postpone this. Director Kim.
Thank you, Director Kim. I'm going to ask all in favor to please say aye.
Linda, can we
do discussion?
Yeah, discussion.
Oh, sure. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Simmons the dictator? We should make her mayor or governor so she can mandate things to people. Here I am the governor and I make the following decision and you will do what I tell you and that's that.
What is the nature of can you describe the nature of the revisions to the bylaws that are going to be under consideration?
Yeah, there are a number of them. The condition in the bylaw change is that the board needs to have 30 days to look at them before taking action, and you've not had that. And so in terms of trying to honor the requirement, we initially weren't sure the board needed to approve the bylaws. But now that we do, we need to give you a chance. And so you're going to be given the full slate of bylaw changes as well as membership.
Yeah.
And this is a question.
Go ahead, Ozzy.
So just a clarification. So in addition to reviewing the updates to bylaws, are we asking board members to also approve the selection of changed committee seats?
Yeah, who's on there?
That would be at a future board meeting. Okay. Yes, that is part of the requirement of the bylaws. It's the combination of the two together.
Are we making both decisions together, or are we?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I could ask one more question, and that is if this delay in appointing members, does this impact the operation of the committee if they don't have the members approved today?
I don't know the answer to that.
I've talked with Tom Mills, and we're fine with moving it to next month.
Why? Why? You've had you know how long this whole thing was approved in 2017 and you're not on. You don't have it. You don't have it together by now. You've only had 5 years.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what's really going on there.
So I think where we were, are there any more comments or questions? So it's been moved and seconded to postpone to a future meeting. So all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
No, of course not.
Hearing none, the motion carries.
We're a board of suck.
So we'll take this up again at a future time. Next resolution is 22-03-16, authorizing a contract with TransDev Services Incorporated for lift operations contract center services. Mr. General Manager, your comments, please.
Thanks.
All right, before we listen to him, well, let me see if let's listen to him first because he sometimes reads the exact same thing I do.
President Simmons, members of the board, TriMet would like to contract with TransDev for our contact center services for our Lyft paratransit service. The Lyft contact center contractor is required to provide services in 5 specific areas. 1, the call center for ride reservations. 2, our scheduling. 3, the same-day dispatch. 4, our customer service. And then 5, technology. In addition, TriMet expects this contractor to help improve customer satisfaction. TriMet issued a request for proposal for these services, and TransDev emerged as the only firm with a competitive range. TransDev is a national firm with a workforce of...
No, it's an international firm. International, as in all over the world. It's another giant conglomerate.
More than 16,000 employees. About 78% identify as minority and 28% as female.
78% minority and 20%. That's like 100% right there.
Intends to self-perform the work for this contract. The total contract value is for $33.8 million over 6 years. The first year amount is accounted for in TriMet's transportation operations budget for FY23. As you will remember, we've already contracted with TransDev for Lyft transportation services. Your recommended, your approval is...
So they've already, I don't get this, okay? They've already contracted with TransDev for Lyft services, but now they're going to contract. So their Lyft services don't include like the dispatcher and customer service. So what the hell did it include? I don't get it. Let's read about this. Since 1976, TriMet's Lyft paratransit program has provided demand-responsive transportation services to individuals with disabilities. In 1991, TriMet began expanding Lyft service to meet the ADA requirements and established the Lyft Operations Center to centralize call-taking, scheduling, and dispatching. By 1996, TriMet had eliminated trip denials? You mean until now. Today, the Lyft program operates origin to destination service according to standards that meet the ADA standards. Pursuant to contracts with social service agencies, TriMet also provides Lyft to eligible customers sponsored by those agencies. To be eligible for Lyft, the customer must have disability or disabling health condition that prevents them from using regular transit. Currently, 23% of registered Lyft customers have conditional eligibility and 74% have unconditional eligibility. Approximately 12,500 customers are currently eligible to receive Lyft service. Although COVID demand reductions, only about 50% of them use, so they had the same People stopped using that at the same rate they stopped using regular service. TriMet Lift relies on LOCC contractor to provide services in 5 areas: reservations, scheduling, same-day dispatch, customer service, and technology reporting. In addition to providing significant efficiencies to Lyft, TriMet expects the contact center to improve customer satisfaction. Well, First Transit did a pretty bad job. We already know that. And there were only 2 bidders, TransDev and First Transit, and we already know First Transit was shit. So this will all be in-house, by the way. This is supposed to be in-house. It should be in-house. But we know how that goes. TriMet, neoliberal, capitalistic organization, they want to take government tax funds and make sure there's a profit in it for some conglomerate, and that's why it's not in-house. And so instead of paying the operators decent benefits and pay, they get to make a profit. And that's how it works in this country, because it's great here in the United States of America.
It's recommended.
Thank you, General Manager Dessou. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
This is $33 million. I don't remember what the actual TransDev contract was. So this is in addition to whatever the other TransDev contract was. I can't remember off the top of my head. I thought it was a lot, like really like over 100 million or something. I'd have to look it up.
So moved.
Thank you, Director Baumann. Is there a second?
Second?
Is that Director Way?
Yes.
Thank you, Director Way. So it's been moved and seconded. Any comments?
Yes, President Simmons, I have a question, and I think this is fundamental, but on our contracts such as these, we certainly have the option of if the contractor that we're have this contract with does not meet our goals and expectations, we can revisit this contract.
I don't know about that.
I would say yes. Let me bring in Les Bittler. Are you there, Les? I'm sure in the contract we have a clause that we can separate on notification if they don't meet the expectations.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We have a base term of 2 years and then 4 one-year options, and there's always a clause in the contract that allows us to terminate for convenience.
Thank you.
Which they never do because there's nowhere else to go.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? So I'm going to call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, our next and I believe our last resolution before we go to ordinances today is Resolution 22-03-17, authorizing a contract with Penske Truck Leasing Company for Lyft vehicle contracted maintenance service.
So I don't understand how this works. This is the most crazy things I've ever heard. So there's one contract for Lyft to have the drivers, and then there's another contract for the Lyft to have the scheduling and customer service and dispatcher, and now there's a third contract for maintenance. I've never heard of anything like that. I mean, so I don't get it. You would think that there would be one contract for the whole thing, okay? TransDev takes the contract to operate the whole thing, but they have it all split into parts here. You know, it's got to be bad. I mean, this has got to be bad. This one is $21 million. I mean, for crying out loud.
Services. Mr. General Manager, your comments, please.
Thanks, President Simmons. Members of the board, this resolution also concerns our lift paratransit services and authorizes a contract with Penske Truck Leasing for maintenance services. Penske is the current lift vehicle maintenance contractor and responsible for all 232 lift vehicles. They are responsible for the mechanical repairs, parts, and the on-road response. With Penske's contract set to expire this June, TriMet issued a new request for proposal for a contractor. Penske was found to be the only responding company in competitive range. The proposed contract is for a base term of 2 years with an option to extend for an additional 4 years. The total amount is $22.1 million, which is included as a line item in the Transportation Operations Division annual operating budget. Penske is a national firm with its Northwest workforce, approximately 89 people, reporting 17% as minority and 11% as female. Your approval is recommended.
Okay.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Thank you, Director Gonzalez. Is there a second?
Second, Director Kim.
Thank you, Director.
Hold on. I can't find the original. Let me look at this a little bit closer here. All right, the requires public agencies, blah, 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 blah. Okay, as we recover from the plandemic, let's get that right, the plandemic, where they destroyed the world so they could reconfigure it back to the way they want it, they being the masters of the universe. Penske, the current lift maintenance contractor, is responsible for 232 lift vehicles. TriMet provides the lift buses, revenue vehicles, the maintenance facility, large shop. Wait a minute. TriMet provides the lift buses, the non-revenue maintenance vehicles, the maintenance facility, the large shop equipment, utilities, and fuel. So what the hell do they provide? The maintenance contractor is responsible for providing scheduled and unscheduled mechanical repairs, parts, and on the road to keep the lift buses available. Before the plandemic, approximately 20 personnel were required, but this time the lift only needs 10. However, TriMet and the contractor anticipate adding personnel commensurate with monthly mileage. So they're going to give him more than he needs, is what that is. TriMet issued requests for proposals. A total of 72 vendors were notified and only 2 responded. Penske Town Center Automotive. And Town Center Automotive scored 17.8 out of 100 by the whoever the hell that sits on their fucking committees. You know, those 6-figure executives, I guess. They sit around giving out money. And Penske got 92. TCA's proposal did not demonstrate the technical capability. Okay. SEC opened Penske's price and then invited Penske to submit a best and final offer. TriMet received the Penske offer technical score, but the price proposal increased somewhat to $22.1 million. Yeah, whatever. This should all be in-house, all union jobs, but you know, I'm not going to go over that again. We know how that goes.
Dr. Kim. Any comments?
Why
Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Of course not.
Motion carries. All right.
Sorry, I've had enough of that, but I want to point out that I saw on Twitter, I can't remember where it was, one of the bicycle guys made a tweet. One of the bicycle guys made a tweet, and it's Eric. This is one of the greatest testimonies in the history of the board, right here. This is after his kids got left behind. Well, we're not going to do this, but well, anyway, I can't remember who did the tweet, but I mean, what he said in that tweet, and I picked up on it. It was like what he said in that tweet was that human transit was going to this guy here, Walker, is somehow he is working with TriMet right now. Okay, now we haven't heard anything about it. So there's something going on here with this guy and TriMet. Now I know about this guy because I follow this shit. He is a so-called consultant with he's got a huge cult following. He's big, okay? He's involved with TriMet right now, and I wish I could find the tweet of him. I don't see. I see he's not putting anything up about it, but Walker is involved somehow with TriMet as we speak. Now they haven't talked about this, okay? I just found it by accident, and I don't remember where I actually saw it. But anyway, what came to mind was that, okay, they've already decided. You know who owns your transit system, right? You know who owns it. It's your executive class and their crony capitalist contractors. Those are the owners of your transit system right there. And they make all the decisions. You don't have any input at all. None. Zero. You know, they pretend you do, but you know better than you know that they don't. What was that guy's name? I can't remember. I don't even remember how long ago it was. I'll never find it here, but the point I'm trying to make is that when they cut that bus service, they had something in mind, okay? They're telling you it's because of this or that, you know, nobody's riding, we don't have any, they make up some lie to tell the public, which is what government always does. And then they do what they want. So they've already decided somehow that they're going to reconfigure their system, and they're going to blame it on driver shortage or whatever the hell they blame it on. You know, government lies. That's their job, is to lie. They're trying to get you to believe everything they say is true when the exact opposite is always true. I'll never find the tweet, but I should have bookmarked it somehow because I needed that. Because what I'm trying to say is here, they've already decided to screw up your system. Okay, when they cut your system 20%. Pretty much more than any other place in the country. Okay, most of the systems are back to at least 90%, but TriMet it's screwed up. If you listen to the scanner like I do, you know how bad it really is. Okay, you know you're never going to see TriMet put a tweet out about it. You're never going to see the mainstream media cover it because you're not going to get any kind of actual factual information from government or mainstream media on any topic. Okay, it just doesn't happen. I got so many tweets. I just do so much tweeting. So we already know what they're up to. Okay, they're going to be reconfiguring your system, and they haven't told anybody about it, which is why I want to bring it out. Now it was an income. I wish I could remember who that guy was, but we don't follow each other, and I'll never figure. I have no idea where it is. It could be anywhere. I didn't bookmark it. All right. The point was that Jarrett Walker is in the middle of working with the TriMet people to change your system, and we don't know what they have in mind, but we're going to find out here pretty quick. So this was a planned demolition of your transit system, is what I'm trying to actually say. This was planned, okay? They planned this out in advance, and so now they're implementing it, and I don't know where it is because I did not bookmark it, and it's a damn shame, because whenever you see that Jarrett Walker's involved, you know somebody's going to get hurt because they're going to reconfigure the system. And what that means is that Jarrett Walker's supposedly this brilliant mind, and no, he can never be wrong because he's brilliant. He's the most brilliant brain in the history of public transportation. They roll out Jarrett Walker as like the distraction from the service cut to make it look like this is the most brilliant thing we've ever done. But it's really a service cut. Okay, that's what's really going on. It's an official service cut, and that's what they're doing. And I wish I could have bookmarked it, but I didn't. Anyway, that was my point, is that your service was destroyed on purpose, and they're in the process of reconfiguring it completely away from the public's eyes. And if I can find it, I'll bring it in the next video.